You're here because you want to learn the viral side bow applique on a sweatshirt. So let's get into it and get started. The first thing you're going to want to think about is how big is the design? How big is the sweatshirt? Because if you imagine the bow, you've got, depending on where you're going to place it, if you're going to cut the band off, how big is this going to lay out on my sweatshirt? If you think about the width of the tail of the bow, it might show up too much or not enough. I chose to try my own design that I digitized, so it is 6.33 wide and 7 inches tall. So something to consider when you're picking a design. Let's pick fabric. I think since Thanksgiving is coming up, this green with this like plaid would look adorable and very seasonal. Also a non-negotiable, heat and bond light backed on all your fabric when you applique. You don't even want to try it without. When you've done it right, it looks nice and shiny. So there are several different ways you can do this, but I'm choosing one, cut the hem. You don't have to cut it. I think it looks like a little more relaxed and not so fitted and kind of wonky, but I'm going to start at that very top stitch and cut that. Something you will want to mention to your customers, have them probably size up, because this is like a cropped sweatshirt technically, and we all know once we cut these they shrink up just and roll up just a little bit. 2, you can hoop it, but I love to float almost everything, so we're floating today. So I'm gonna hoop up the stabilizer first and then spray a little bit of 5x5. Forgot to mention I'll be using the 8x9 MightyHoop, cutting the stabilizer to size. And that's the adhesive I'm talking about. Just give it a light spritz wherever you're gonna be. I'm just gonna do the whole thing. And I marked it with the center of this little hole right here is the center. So that should be all gravy. Just gonna put a pin down on both sides to make sure she's stuck down good before we start. Okay, so it's just gonna go into the machine like that. One thing to remember is you want to make sure, since this is going to be upside down the way I hooped it, rotate that design, girl. And we're always going to trace, make sure our hoop will not be hit. I might just hold it outside of the hoop when it's going. So the first step of an applique is always a tack down stitch. So it's going to do that, and then we're going to cut the fabric. Okay, sorry if this part's wobbly. This tripod is not great, but so you see I can always crop this a little more later, but I didn't go all the way to the edge. Some people do. I probably would have got to like right there, but yeah. I don't typically love duckbill applique scissors, but I lost my traditional just double curved ones. So we're gonna be cutting with these today. You try to get as close as possible without cutting stitches, like I think I just did. Okay, now that this is cut out, it's going to need to be cut out along that way. But I know some people cut straight to the edge. I'm gonna leave a little allowance because I like the look of it showing the sweatshirt a little. So that's what we're gonna do. Okay, there you have it. I don't know how I'm gonna feel about that because I kind of went at an angle. I should have stopped right there at that piece, but I can just cut that as well. This is the trial and error. So we're gonna go ahead and load it, and the last stitch will be the satin stitches. Sure all that extra fabric is away. One thing I forgot in the beginning is that you can choose between any stabilizer, but a lot of people are doing tearaway. I'm choosing no-show poly mesh because it stabilizes better. It is done. Well, not all the way done, but how cute. I love it. Perfect for fall, even though we're going into winter already. But yeah, all we need to do now is unhoop it. And then since this is a no-show poly mesh, it's a cutaway. So we're just gonna cut away, and then I might take some like a lighter and softly go over the edges to clean up fuzzies and whatnot. But I guess however much I cut away, it didn't. I mean, the satin stitches must have kind of pulled them in. So I guess it's the perfect amount of cutting away the sweatshirt. And just like that, we are finished with it. I think it turned out so stinking cute. Like, that'll be so fresh on. Some takeaways. When you are hooping it, make sure it just lines up straight with the bottom. Know that you might, if you float it, you might have to hold the sides just from keeping them away from the needle. And just have fun. That's what this is all about. I mean, business, yes, to stay up with the trending stuff, but just have fun and let me know if you guys tried this and if it was helpful, and let me know if there's anything else you think I should try. I'll see you in the next one.